สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, welcome to another Dhamma reading where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. We are waiting for our first participant. Okay, from New Zealand, Anura, you're first in line today.
Good evening.
You missed last week meeting. You have to turn on your microphone again.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been sick. I've been recovering from my our pilgrimage. I got sick at the end of the pilgrimage, so
I
I was not
see.
100% at the time. Yeah,
Did you find it worthwhile taking the
yeah,
pilgrimage?
yeah. Definitely, it was worthwhile, so inspiring, and we had the opportunity to meditate at all the places and Vulture's Peak. So
How
uh,
many monasteries did you visit?
we travel pretty much what the Buddha has traveled from Varanasi, Bodh Gaya, Rajgiri, and Nalanda, Kusinara, Lumbini,
I see.
Kapilavastu. So and also Isipatana. So we went to all the sites
Mhm.
and had meditation, chanting. It was good, yeah. we had five monastics with us, so that's really good. Yeah, yeah,
So the benefit is that your faith in the Buddha has been reinforced.
yeah. Definitely, it's a it's hard to it's a experience, and the energy in those places really inspires us. So keep on practicing. Yeah,
Okay.
it was hard at the end. Everything went well until the New Delhi we went last, so the pollution was so high, 500 in the pollution index. So we got sick at the time. So I'm just recovering now.
Mm.
Going back. Yeah, yeah. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any question tonight?
No questions. Thank you, Tangajan. So yeah,
And
yeah.
you, Ramya?
Listening Dhammajan.
Okay.
Thank
I'll,
you.
Thank
I'll,
you.
I'll go to Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan.
Greetings to you.
No questions today, just enjoying the semester break. I'll be going to the monastery Dhammapala the weekend to stay for a while.
Okay,
So,
good.
just
How long is
focusing on practice.
your holiday? Yeah.
We have 4 weeks off,
4 weeks off.
and I'll be going for just over a week, I think, to the monastery. They just have limited time at the moment, but I'll be.
Out there is very quiet, remote.
Yeah, it's near a small town, but it's on the edge of town, on the edge of a forest. And at the moment,
No houses around.
no houses. And at the moment, it's very cold and snow on the ground. So there's very few visitors. It's very, very quiet time.
That's a nice place to meditate.
Yes, and actually the Western monasteries of Ajahn, they have what they call a winter retreat from January to March, where the monks withdraw a little bit and focus entirely on their practice, and there's very few visitors.
Due
They've
to
kind
the
of
weather also, due to the weather, it's cold.
mainly due to the weather, because it's snowy and icy and very few visitors. So they just need a couple of lay practitioners to support the monks. So I'll be practicing and supporting the monks while I'm there.
So you might have to cook the food for them.
Yeah, the primary task is to cook the food for the meal for everybody. So it's not one
Because
of my major skills.
monks are not allowed to cook.
Yeah, they always need a minimum of maybe 1 or 2 lay practitioners. His task at this time of the year is to make the meal for everybody. So I'm not great at cooking, but I'll try and work on my skills in cooking as well as practice.
Good. Do dana at the same time.
Yeah.
Service to other people.
Service to the Sangha, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, no question from you tonight.
No question, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Go to Mike. Mike from New York.
Good evening, Ajaan. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How's the weather there? Very cold still?
So we're in a cold front. It's not going higher than freezing for the next week or so. I think it's 20 degrees is the hottest it's going to be today in Fahrenheit. So it's pretty cold.
And you still
But
go out and go to work?
I'll go out to work. I'll put on my coats. I'll walk in the snow to the subway, and then it's not so bad after that. So I'm happy to get out of the house too. But yeah, I guess my question today is about visualization during the meditation practice. A while ago, I kind of maybe it was through Tom Jeff or maybe through some of my reading, kind of thought about, when I'm breathing in meditation, of sometimes imagining like I'm building a cocoon around myself. And I've often been like turning to the idea of like breathing when I breathe out, imagining the color blue. I'm just curious if any of these methods of visualization uh, that would you suggest any of these, or am I getting too far away from the breath if I'm imagining like the breath as like a cocoon around me or as like a bath that I'm within?
If you're using the breath, you shouldn't imagine anything at all. The goal is to minimize the mind's mental activity, not not increase the mental activity of the mind. Except if you use something that you need to visualize, like a skeleton, for instance, then you just visualize only that particular object only. Some practices they let you visualize color, like maybe color green or color blue, white or red. You just imagine this color in your mind and try to make it appear and remain. This is another way of focusing your mind on an object. But you don't want to keep changing the colors or anything like that. You just want to fix it on with just one particular color that you choose. Green, just try to imagine green all the time in your mind,
Mm.
like watching your breath. Just keep watching your breath. Don't let the mind go scattered. You want to unite the mind to one. Focus it, bring it into to one. So you don't want to use the mind to do a lot of imagination because that's thinking, see, and that would not stop the mind. That would not make the mind to become calm. So you're watching the breath, and you don't have to visualize anything. Just feel the breath at the tip of your nose coming in and going out, and try not to be distracted by anything that might appear or might you might think about something, and don't be distracted by these things. You want to minimize the working of the mind. All you want the mind to do is just to be merely knowing.
Does Ajaan ever send thoughts of goodwill prior to meditation to others, or have you done that enough where you don't need to do that as much anymore?
You don't send thoughts to goodwill. You have to do the action itself. Yeah, when you meet people, you say hello, greet them, treat them nice. But when you're alone, you don't send thought to anybody because they don't receive it anyway, right? I think this is a misunderstanding. People thought radiating compassion or loving kindness is by thinking. That's not true. You know. To radiate a loving kindness or compassion, you have to do it by action. When you're actually in front with people, then you want to radiate that kindness or that compassion toward other people. But you can use the chant or the chant of the loving kindness chant to remind you how to radiate or give loving kindness. That you have to be forgiving. You don't want to hurt other people when you do something. You want to make people happy, for instance. This is the way to show your loving kindness toward other people. But you have to do it in real time when you actually meeting people, and might be the need for you to forgive people sometime if they did something wrong to you, whether intentional or not. You can say it's okay. Hold no grudges toward anybody. Or if you want to make somebody happy, you might buy something and give to that person when you see that person. Hey, I got a gift for you. This is radiating loving kindness by action, not by just being alone and then just recite the verse. May all beings be well and happy. That's not giving loving kindness. Okay, understand?
Hmm.
Anything else?
That's all for today. Thank you so much, John.
Okay. Next, Aparajita from Dubai.
Good evening, Prajan.
How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Happy as always?
Yes, and reading and focusing a bit more on practice. So
Just a little bit more, huh? Just a little bit more.
just
Not
a
much.
little bit. Well, I kind of decided I'd make a sort of resolution that for 30 days, just to make it fixed, that I'd wake up like super early, like between 3:30 and 3, and meditate for an hour. So far I've managed to do it. So I'm just trying to consistently stay with it.
Yes, that's good.
Yes.
The more time you give to practice, the better your mind will become. The stronger, the more peaceful and content your mind will become.
Yes.
It doesn't come by wishes. It has to come through practice only.
Yes.
So the more you practice, the better you will be with your mind. Your mind will be better, be happier, less stressful, and less defilement.
Yes. And when you speak of defilements, it's I was also reading a little bit how we have all these contrary defilements. So the only option is to try and build better habits. So those at least get a little disbalanced. So I guess sitting and practice would make sense.
Yes. All we have to do is just to become still. Then your defilement cannot do anything. When you're in action, that's when your defilement can get into action. But when you're not doing anything or saying anything, then the defilement cannot do anything.
Sure.
So try to be still as much as possible, especially with your thoughts. Try not to think so much. Think only when you really have to.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have to, then try to stop it from thinking. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, Jason from Florida. You have changed your location now.
Hello, John. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you. So I guess there's a couple things I've been thinking about. One is when contemplating asubha, unattractiveness of the body, I find that I don't have a lot of aversion. Some of my education background is in biology. I don't know if that's why, but I don't have a lot of aversion. I feel more equanimous about it. There are some things that I have some aversion to, but I'm wondering if you have any suggestions when contemplating asubha, given that I don't have like a very strong aversion to the unattractiveness or what would be perceived as the unattractiveness of the body.
Well, the goal of contemplating on asubha is to embed it in your mind, into your memory, so that anytime when you want to think about asubha, it should come out right away. Like when you see some looking woman or something and you start to have some liking for her, then you have to think of the asubha in her body right away. In order to stop your liking her. This is the goal to prevent any sexual desire to come up. If you see a person as a super, then sexual desire will not come up. But if you see a person as being attractive or good looking, then your sexual desire can come up. So if you want to prevent your sexual desire, you must always be ready to think about super whenever you feel like your mind is going toward that sexual desire. So it's a matter of looking at it, thinking about it until it becomes part of your mind. part of your consciousness. You can call it anytime you want when you need it to when you need to use it to suppress your sexual desire. These are more for people who keep the 8 precepts, people who are observing abstinence, like monks, for instance. We have to use this in order to curb our sexual desire.
Thank you. I do see the even if I don't have a strong aversion, when I start contemplating it, it does have a neutralizing effect. So I do see that benefit.
Yeah, you don't have to have aversion. You just want to like you say neutralize your perception from being one-sided. You tend to look at people on the beauty side, on the good-looking side, and you forget that they are the other side of the body also that you have overlooked.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The other thing I would like to ask about is so the sickness that I came down with it's been going on for about a month, and I've noticed that and I've turned the corner with it, but I've noticed that I've had a lot of mental fogginess about it, and so I feel like certainly some of that is generated just from the physical state of the sickness, but I'm wondering what suggestions you'd have to um, kind of penetrate that. Yes, thank you.
Well, one way is to do a lot of meditation if you can. If you can practice meditation and calm your mind, then your mind can become lucid and clear again.
Mm.
The reason why you feel a bit foggy maybe it's because of your delusion. Your delusion wants you to go do something, but you're not able to use the body to do it.
Mm.
So you feel kind of not happy.
Mm.
So you can still be happy while you are sick if you know how to meditate.
Mm.
Just focus on your breath and forget about your sickness. Forget about your body.
Mm.
Then the mind can be temporarily separated from the body and will not be affected by the sickness of the body. Another way is to use wisdom to separate yourself from the body. Say, I'm not the body is not me. I'm just the user of this body. Right now the body is sick, but I'm not sick. The cause of my unhappiness is because I want to get rid of this sickness, which I cannot do it right away. So I have to be patient and wait for the body to heal itself. So in the meantime, just don't try to have any aversion for the sickness. Try to embrace the sickness as part of life. Life is body is subjected to sickness. So the frustration or the the stress that arises in the mind when we get sick is because we don't want it to happen. We want the sickness to go away. But if we can just remain calm and equanimous, then the sickness will not bother us. Our desire for the sickness to disappear will not appear, and we won't have any stress. We can live with the body, live with the sickness.
Thank
What,
you. Sorry.
what else can we do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have noticed that there's been times where I'm equanimous and acceptance of it, and those times are quite peaceful. And then there's the times where I want to be better and I don't want it going on, and those aren't peaceful. So I've
That's
seen
right.
like both sides of it throughout the
Mm.
process.
So
Yeah.
it's a matter of acceptance of the reality that appears at that time. The body is sick. What else can you do?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can go to the doctor and get medicine, but it won't go away right away. It just take time.
Mm.
You just have to accept it and live with it,
Mm.
like a friend, an unwanted friend.
All right. Thank you so much, Ajaan. It's good to see you.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Sao Paulo with Ubeka Alfredo. Alfredo, can you hear me? You're doing something. I'll go to Alvin first. Alvin?
Namaskar, Ajaan. Ajaan, I was just referring to listening to Forrest Dhamma. I think it was a long time ago, right? Then he was talking about the Noble Eightfold Path, starting with Panya, Sila, Samadhi. I just want to refresh my understanding. The Panya that is normally we talk about Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, but in this case, it's Panya first. So basically, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm just refreshing my understanding. Perhaps I might have asked you before as well. The panya that he's referring to is a very low level of panya, right? So you go through the cycle, right? Panya, sila, samadhi, and then go to the higher level of panya.
That's right. It's like a cyclic thing. You go from the lower level to the higher level. First, you have the lower level of wisdom. That is to see that that your suffering is caused by your craving, for instance. Then you know, and your by your cravings and by your bad karma action. So if you don't want to have any of this bad feeling in your mind, then you have to avoid your cravings and avoid doing bad karma. So that then it will then direct you to keep the precepts, for instance, to have right action and right speech, and in order to crave your cravings, you have to practice meditation. So this come back around.
Right.
You
So
first
you
have
keep
to
on.
you have to know the reason why you have to keep the precept. You have to know why you have to meditate, because the precept can prevent you from doing bad karma, that which can cause you mental pain. And your meditation will curb your cravings. If you meditate, then you can curb your cravings, stop your craving, which keep causing you the mental pain also. There are two causes to your mental pain or suffering. One is your bad karma, like killing, hurting other people, for instance. And the other is your craving for something that is not possible. Like craving for the sun to rise on the west instead on the east, something like that. And
And
when
guilt as well, right, Tanajan? Guilt, would it cause, I mean, if you do something which is very subtle, you break the precept, but then you feel the guilt, right?
well, that's because you did the bad karma in the first place. If you didn't do any bad karma, then you won't have any guilt. Guilt can be considered to be suffering, mental suffering, caused by your bad karma, bad action, or bad speech, like lying to somebody, for instance. But if you keep the precept, then you won't have any guilt because you didn't do anything wrong. So it shouldn't. We shouldn't pay too much attention which come first. I think they are like they are running in a circle. You know, the last may be first. Because if the first come too near the last person, then the last person is actually leading the first person when you keep running in a circle. So the Noble Eightfold Path is like three people running in a circle. Look at it that way.
Okay.
You need all three of them. You need wisdom, you need precepts, and you need meditation in order for you to be able to stop your cravings and your bad action, your bad karma.
Okay, Tanajan, I got it. Just to refresh my understanding. Thank you.
Okay.
Very clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alfredo from Sao Paulo. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Hi, Bante.
Greetings. How are you?
Okay. Training. Bhavana,
Ubeka. Bhavana.
Much bhavana.
Yeah. Mental development. Bhavana means mental development.
Yes.
Samatha bhavana is to make the mind becomes calm and peaceful.
Yes.
Vipassana bhavana is to teach the mind to be wise, to be intelligent, to be smart.
Yes. It's a different life, but it's good, ne, Bante? It's good. Dhamma is.
Yes, it's the best thing for the mind. Nothing else can compare with the Dhamma.
Yes.
The Dhamma will keep the mind peaceful and content. Other things cannot make the mind peaceful or content. They might make the mind happy temporarily, but then after they're gone, they left the mind empty and sad.
Yes. Not use the body a lot, ne, Bante? Use more mind, ne? The body is more peaceful, ne? A person that work a lot use more your body, ne?
Yes.
Buddhist practice, we use more my mind, your mind, ne?
Actually, we want to use less. We want to reduce the mental activity to zero if possible.
Yes.
By stop thinking. So when you stop thinking, then the mind becomes peaceful and have equanimity, have contentment.
Yes.
If your mind is in action, then you start to be more desiring, more cravings, then it makes the mind more agitated and restless.
Yes.
And not happy.
Yes. Last week you talked about Sati and Yoniso Manasikara.
Yes.
The next level, Bante, is Yatabhuta Nanadasana. Yatabhuta is meditation.
Yes, Bhutam Datsana. That is seeing things as they are. Wisdom, that's wisdom.
Ta.
But you need yoniso namaskara to get to that point. Say. You have to study the object of your investigation until you finally see it as it is, seeing it as being anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Yes. Is enough, ne, Bante?
It's a consequence of your investigation, of your yoniso manasikara.
Yes.
You get to yatha bhutam dasanam.
Yes.
Seeing things as they are, seeing things as they are. Right now, we don't see things as they are. We see things opposite to what they are. We see permanent in impermanent. We see happiness in suffering, and we see
the reality.
A self in something that is no self. So we have to turn this thing around to see things as they are. See everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Yes.
By constantly reprogramming our thought, our mind to say everything is anicca, nothing is permanent. We tend to look at things as being permanent, and we tend to look at things as being the source of happiness for us. But everything is actually the source of suffering for us. If if we become attached to them, and when they have to depart from us, then we can become sad. So this is vipassana, teaching the mind to see things in a different way.
Yes.
Okay.
The name of the Buddha, one of the names of the Buddha is Tatata. The man had see the truth, ne?
Tathagata.
Tathagata,
Yeah,
Tathagata.
Tathagata.
Yes.
Tathakot in Thai, we shorten it to call Tathakot.
Yes. among Chinas in Brazil, in Templo Zulai, monja sinceridade, monk sinceridade, a woman, né? And he talks to me, ta 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 ta. The same is sati sati sati, ta ta ta.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that's okay, bud. Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks for.
good. Nice talking to you. Next, we'll go to Christine Koe from Penang, Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. I have no question. I come in to pay respect to Tanajan.
Thank you. Next, Celia from Peru.
Hello, Tanajan. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, great. Nice to see you again. First, I wanted to thank you because in a past session, you had recommended using Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta for mindfulness, for getting back to being more mindful in the moment. And that I really appreciate it because it has worked really well. Actually, I use Dukkha, Anicca, Anatta because I feel closer to Dukkha. So when a thought comes, and I know that it's going to start to proliferate, I think this is going to lead to
Dukkha.
suffering.
Yeah,
Dukkha, yeah.
that's
This is
good.
going to lead to dukkha sooner or later, no? So I remember 2024, that was, oh my God, it was so much suffering until the last hours of the year. So I think I can't do this anymore. No, I can't suffer so much as it happened last year. So quickly I start with dukkha anicca anatta, dukkha anicca anatta, and I go back to the body very quickly, no, or to whatever I'm doing in the moment. So I want to thank you a lot for that because that is working very well until now. So many thanks for that. I have let a thought, however, to grow a little bit because I wanted to ask you about that. In the last session, I didn't attend, but I hear it after. A participant was talking about the fires in USA and about a man who had lost all his things. And he said, oh, well, at least I didn't lose my family, no? But this participant was thinking, not really, because at the end, you're also going to lose your family, no? So this hits home because my mother had surgery just a few days ago. So there's a lot of effort and a lot of time in preparing surgeries and every illness that she has. So the surgery finished and I say, okay, so supposedly the surgery went well. And now what, no? Now, are we going to live happily forever after? No, no, because it's just a matter of time until the next illness comes. And eventually she's going to die. And the same goes up for me, no? Because I also see that I have more illnesses that I had before, no? So it feels a little bit like playing, like if it was a football match, playing in a match that you know you're going to lose, like from the beginning, like you put a feet in the ground, in the field, and it doesn't matter if you score goals, it doesn't matter your effort, nothing matters because you know that at the end you're going to lose. So my question is, when I think about all this, like all this suffering that is waiting in this life and in next life, all this samsara, I should really be trying to practice much more than I'm doing, no? To further my practice. But I can't, no? Not only now because I'm taking care of my mother, but also in the future, I really don't know any place where I could really, I haven't been to a place that is both inspiring and that also will have me there, no? Like ordaining like a nun or a mage or any form. No, that place doesn't exist. So my question is, what do I do with this stress that years are passing by and I'm not being able to practice more, no? Not now. And I also don't see in the future any way for it to happen, no? So I get a little bit of stress there when I think about that. So what would you recommend me or what can I do with that?
You do with whatever you have, see, whatever you can right now. You just do at home where you are now, and do. You're doing pretty well if you understand the anicca, dukkha, anatta. So all you have to do is just to teach your mind to accept this thing. Then you can be anywhere and will not have any suffering. See. So your craving for a place might be a cause of your suffering because you cannot find a place that you like to have. So you have to look at the reality that okay, if I cannot have any place for practice, I can practice where I am right now because the practice is in the mind. It's not in the location. As long as you can keep the mind calm with mindfulness and wisdom, that's all you need to do. Wherever you are, doesn't matter.
But I think you always talk that we should be meditating more, and I do agree because I see a big difference when I meditate, like when I'm on retreat or where I travel and I meditate many hours. The way of seeing the world changes a lot, and it lasts a little bit, and then I go back to the Monday world, and okay, again, all the stress comes back. But I do see a lot of difference. I mean, when I see further in my practice, I'm actually talking about more hours of meditation because I see that it helps me, it helps me to have more mindfulness during the day. It helps me to be more calm and to see things in a more objective way, and that's not possible now. Maybe half an hour, maybe more. I've tried to put more hours within the things that I do here at home, but it doesn't happen. No, sooner or later I have to leave it. So I have to just accept that and just take this thought, this stress, just forget about it also.
Well, you have to do whatever you can. See, if you can come to Thailand and live in a monastery, then do it. If you cannot, then you just have to live in where you are now and practice where you are. Or maybe you can go build a cottage somewhere in the forest and practice it, live alone there for most of your time practicing. Somehow you just have to come improvise if you cannot find a monastery. But if you can find a monastery that you can live in and meditate, then you can go there.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that I should just not worry about that and just think that just go along with whatever comes and do your best. But that requires a lot of faith that things are going to actually work out. Not that
As long as you can maintain the status quo right now, I think that's all you need to do. As long as you can be happy where you are now, then you don't need to do anything. Can you be happy like this every day?
I can be happy now, but it's not sustainable because I'm on savings here. Like they're going to finish someday, and they have to work, and even worse, because if I have to work, forget about meditation, about taking care of my mother, forget about everything. So yeah, these thoughts come sometime. I mean, now I'm fine, but it's not sustainable. No? Sooner or later, something has to happen. That something has to happen is what is not clear for me. Haven't still decided. No?
Well, the Buddha became a homeless from a prince. So you have to use this model if you can.
Just go with the wind. Just wait until.
And just be able to accept anything that happens. If you have to live like a homeless, okay, live like a homeless.
I want to live like a homeless. Like that's my goal. Actually, I don't see how it can happen. I don't see how it has happened before, but now I don't see how it can happen. But yeah, it's different when you're a woman, no?
Yeah,
It's like yeah.
but even for Western people, they have to come to Thailand first to ordain and develop a mind that's strong enough for them to go back home and then establish their own monasteries. So you may have to look for some monastery, some Buddhist monastery around your area.
There's no Buddhist monastery here. There's of Mahayana traditions, but they even charge for some for their meditation, so I don't go. But yeah,
No monastery of Ajaan Chah tradition at all. Huh?
no, not at all. There's one in Brazil, but Brazil is very far away, and I cannot travel now anymore because of my mother.
Okay. Then what can you do?
Yeah, that's that's what I said. That's what I think. Like that's a stress, no? Like I'm trying so many different ways. At the end, I think, okay, just don't think about it. Whatever will come, no? And if you're homeless, you'll just try to accept any suffering that may bring, no? If things don't go well. So yeah, I
You
don't.
might have physical suffering, but you can eliminate your mental suffering if you have mindfulness and wisdom.
So I
Stop
continue
trying
practice.
to you just have to accept your place, whatever happens. If you have to work, then you just have to be happy with working.
Although I don't have time to meditate.
Well, you have time after you come back from work, see.
If I work here in Peru, no. I've always worked 12 hours here. Even taking care of my mother would make it very difficult.
You can meditate or you can practice mindfulness during your working hours. If you
Really think
know,
that's possible, Ajahn? You always say that it's not possible to work and also.
ideally I said that, but in your case, if you cannot,
Yeah.
you have to work, what else can you do?
Yes. Yes, I have to just accept. Okay. Should I, when these thoughts come, should I just forget them and move with whatever's happening?
Yeah, just like que sera, just whatever will be, will be.
Okay.
Try to do your best with whatever you have.
In the moment.
Yes. But be ready to accept any consequence, anything that can happen to you. No matter how well we plan, we still cannot, we can still not escape from aging, sickness, and death anyway. So our main goal here is to teach your mind to be able to accept aging, sickness, and death. Then everything else will be no problem.
Okay. I can do that from now on. I'm doing that actually. So
Yeah.
yes, I will strengthen my practice in that way. Okay.
Yes. No matter how rich you are, you still have to get old, get sick, and die. And so you have to to teach your mind to accept aging, sickness, and death. Then once you can accept this, then you can live under any condition. That's the matter.
Okay. Okay, I will direct my practice that way then. I had already started, but now I have more I know more drive to continue. Okay. Many thanks, Ajahn.
Okay, you're
That's
welcome.
helpful. Thank you.
The important thing is how you react to your situation. If you can react to it peacefully and calmly, then everything will be okay.
Yes.
Try to stop your defilement. Your defilement that doesn't want to accept your place, your situation.
Yeah.
This is the
It's
one that
always
caused you
trying
the
to
suffering.
complain. Yeah. Okay, good. Good, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Al Sasim from Penang, Malaysia.
Evening, Tan Ajahn. May I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
On 20th February, I'm going to join a retreat, and the preparation for the retreat is 2 weeks before the retreat. I have to practice daily practice Metta Bhavana and Asubha meditation. I wish to ask Ajahn for guidance on how to go about practicing Asubha meditation. Should I memorize all the two parts and contemplate each of them?
Yes, you memorize all the 32 parts of the body and then try to visualize them, the parts that you can see, like the skeleton, the heart, lungs, and livers, and kidneys, and intestines.
Mhm.
And also, if you like, you can study the 10 types of corpses, the 10 stages of corpse. From, first when the body die, then the next stage is when it become bloated and so forth, until it be eventually left with just a skeleton. And teach your mind that this is the nature of the body, that so that when you become attracted to some people's body, you can teach your mind that is this what you want, a corpse? Is this what you want, the 32 part? This is what you're going to get when you are attracted to a body. So this will reduce or eliminate your attachment or attraction toward other people's body or your own body for even. Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Try
Ajahn.
to contemplate and until you become it becomes second nature to you. You can see Asupa anytime you want. Whenever you feel attracted to a body, then you should have a super come up right away and say, yeah, you don't want to be attracted to anybody because the body that you think is attractive is actually not so attractive at all. This to protect you from having any sexual desire, and that will enable you to be able to live and keep the precepts, and also help you to concentrate on your time on your practice of meditation. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn, for your advice.
Next, Marco from Holland.
Hi, Ajaan. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I would like to ask you some questions and report my homework.
Please go ahead.
Meditation's been going well. Walking meditation's been going well. I've been increasing my 8 precepts more often. I used to do twice a day. I'm doing it often, more often now, up to 6 times a day, 6 times a week or 4 times a week. I have a question about my current state of mind, just to validate if I'm thinking the right way. I have a feeling that thoughts are more under control, meaning that they're going slower. It's as if now, as if in the past, there was a movie that was playing really fast and the thoughts would go really fast. But now it feels like it's more slow motion, which allows me to see what's happening. And I have the feeling that I'm understanding now what the truth is behind Sanya and Sankhara, where they keep each other revolving and making them stronger. And rather than just accepting it or understanding it from theory, I have a feeling that I've felt it as being truth. Is this the kilesas telling me that I've done something which is not the truth, or is this possible from the practice?
Well, your thought can be two ways, truthful or delusional. So if your thought go in the delusional way, you should stop it. When you think of permanent, you think of self, think of people as being as being a human being, as being a self in the body, then you are delusional. You should think in the opposite. You should think that the body is impermanent, that there's no self in the body. And if you are attached to this body or anybody's body, you can get dukkha or suffering when you have to lose that body. So you have to try to pull your mind away from thinking delusionally to think truthfully instead.
And if the thought that came up, I have the feeling that I saw the tilakana in it, in that it's not me that came up, that it was a memory, and at the same time that it was suffering because it was looking for a state that wasn't there, and that eventually it's going to change. So it went away. Is that then the delusion or not? Because it felt like it came up and it wasn't there. I wasn't seeing myself in it. It was more just understanding how the memory worked and how the memory tried to become like an expectation or a craving even. And I'm trying to find when this happened after I did my meditation and when I was contemplating, and I'm curious if that if that's the right approach, because I'm not giving it strength. I'm actually letting it go and just trying to observe it, not as part of me even.
You only know when you have to actually let go of your attachment to your body.
Mm.
If you get sick and you suffer mentally, then you're still attached to your body.
Mm.
But when you get sick and you don't feel any suffering in your mind, then you have let go of your attachment to the body, because you see that the body is not you. So you have to see the consequence of your thought, whether you can become peaceful or calm, or become
Agitated.
stressful, agitated.
Mm.
Then that will prove to you whether it's real or not real. If you're still agitated and restless, then it's not real.
That's a good one. Yeah, I felt peaceful afterwards when I realized it. I had a feeling that I saw something really. I don't know. It's more. It wasn't. I'm used to reading a lot, and that's why I'm always worried that what I experience is just based on thoughts and mental formations based on what I read, as opposed to truly experiencing or really realizing something. And I'm noticing now that because my meditation seems to be going a bit better, that it's more perceiving. So it feels like things are going slower. And I have the feeling that my mind is slower now in, at least I won't say I have control over my mind, but I'm more aware of what thoughts are coming up and where they originate from, at least. So I think that that's helpful. But indeed, if I dreamt this is another question I have actually. So when you're sleeping and you're dreaming, the chitta's still working, right? So all the mental formations that happen, they become the dreams. Is that a correct assumption?
That's right. Mental fabrication, sankhara,
Yeah.
and
So what?
sanya, both are working.
Yeah. So and what I dreamt was that I knew there was an accident, and I had the feeling it was me who died. And initially I wanted to turn away, but I went back, and then when I pulled the sheet away, I saw myself dead. And that's when I actually felt relief when I saw that moment, and it's so close to what I really experienced in the dream. When I woke up, it was so clear to me, and then I was thinking, these are the formations based on the fact that I'm practicing a lot, and this is one of the things that I was afraid of in the past, I think.
Yes, your dream can reveal the level of your practice. How far have you gone?
So in general, it's a good thing to dream when you see your own body and seeing your own body, because I didn't have the feeling that I was there as a person. It was just like it was a movie, just to play, like you see it happen. It's not real. I mean,
If you can see the body and not being affected by whatever happens to the body, then it means you have trained your mind in the right direction.
mm, yeah,
So that when you awake and something happened to your body, then you can know the proper way of reacting toward the situation.
thank you, Tanajan. Yeah, I feel more comfortable in my practice. That I have the feeling I'm more convinced that it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, the goal is to give up your body, not to be attached to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not you, it doesn't belong to you in the first place.
Correct. It's just suffering.
It's just something we borrowed from our parent. The body is given to us by our parent. We are the mind which has come and received the body from our parent. But we forget that we're not the body, see. We are the mind that uses the body as a tool to satisfy our cravings. The mind have sensual pleasure, cravings for sensual pleasure, and it needs to have the body to be able to achieve the cravings. Without the body, it cannot achieve the pleasure that it wants to have. It needs the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body in order to be able to experience the sensual objects. So it needs the body. But the body and the mind are not this one and the same thing. They're two separate entities, two separate person. The mind is the master, the body is the servant. Whatever happens to the body doesn't happen to the mind. Should the body die, that doesn't cause the mind to die with the body.
I think of now more than ever realizing that, which means it takes the fear away. And I think also that by the practice that I'm doing, it's really by abstaining from a lot of things, from entertainment, etc., that I have the feeling now that the kilesas are trying to be more with the mental formations as opposed to just actions from the outside. So it's not really the stimuli from the outside, but internally. And I have the feeling that it feels like you're making them weaker, but of course they're still there. But at least you have the opportunity to see or understand them better. So I'm now able to see the craving under it. When I was having the feeling that I realized something, then a thought popped up. It's like, oh, you're doing 8 precepts. Oh, you're doing so well, so now you should eat. And then it's like, no, of course not. It's like, why even? Who am I congratulating? It's not there. So it's just those senses that come up, and it's interesting to see how different that is than from before. I feel that analyzing now is actually training not to actually use true wisdom. Analyzing is just reviewing what's happened and trying to exactly, that's the word, I think, trying to make up this projection of what you're expecting, which is not what it is, because then you're using the mind. It's not calmness at all. And that's what I finally realized, I think.
Okay.
So yeah.
Try
Thank
to
you,
reduce
Ajaan.
your thinking.
Yes, exactly.
And if you want to think in terms of impermanent, everything in this world is impermanent. You cannot cling to anything, because when you cling, you can get suffering.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Steph from Oregon.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I've just been thinking, so not quite a suba in the body way, but I enjoy pleasantness. Like I live in a really beautiful place and I feel a lot of awe all the time, but I'm thinking maybe I should be more even. Like I shouldn't, do you know what I mean? Like I appreciate the beauty and everything, but maybe that's like unsettling my mind. Does that make sense?
You forget that everything is impermanent, even pleasant things. They can
Yes,
change.
yeah.
So you have to remind yourself that
Yes.
this thing don't last forever. You might get a fire like in Los Angeles one day.
Yeah, yes.
Or anything.
So maybe when I feel pleasantness, I should try to have a thought come
Yeah,
like,
this
okay.
doesn't last forever. So be ready to lose it when it happens. Then you won't feel sad.
Because I think I am attached to beautiful and nice things, and that's a thing I got to work on. Okay.
Everything will go south. You know, they don't always go up. They will come down. So,
yeah.
So
It's
we have
true.
to look at both sides of the story, not just one side.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm okay, like accepting, like, but I'm not necessarily. I'm not necessarily like I'm okay to accepting like when things go bad, but like when things are really good, I let myself go into it, and that can be unsettling for my mind. Is kind of what I'm thinking.
Better to stay aloof. Don't be
Yes.
attached to them.
That's a good, yeah.
Better to rely on your peace and calm from meditation, which you can keep with you forever, wherever you are. Even if
Yes.
you lose everything, you can still be peaceful and calm. So this is what you want to cling on to, not other things.
When I'm stuck behind RVs, I think about when I'm stressed out. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Next, Gek Yenso from Penang, Malaysia.
Very good. No question for me, Ajaan. Yeah.
Okay, Rohini from the UK.
Good evening, Ajaan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, no question from me. I just want to listen and pay my respect.
How is your attachment? Getting more or getting less?
Less much. It's actually, I have come to a stage to think nothing is matter to me anymore. Only thing I want is just to stop coming back. That's what I'm focusing on, and just yeah, actually, I have no interest or of anything really.
Because everything is impermanent.
Yeah, that you see after listening to Ajaan's teaching, I had these feelings even as a child, but when I was growing up in Sri Lanka, but I did not know. I wanted to know the actual teaching of the Buddha, but I didn't know until last summer. It was just rituals and really I didn't know really until last summer. So after that, my perception, my thinking, everything changed. Now I feel as I'm totally different person. I'm happy because finally I understand actual teaching of the Buddha, what is this about. So thank you to Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just keep practicing, and I'm just trying to have calm my mind and have the fourth jhana. Yeah, that's what Appana Samadhi. So I'm not really there yet. So I'm just trying for that. That's all, Siri.
Okay.
So
Seek the refuge of the Dhamma for your
yeah,
happiness,
that's all really
your
in my
mindfulness and
mind.
wisdom.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking almost 24 hours. But at the same time, if my family, like my sister, need any help, I just give a helping hand. Apart from that, nothing else. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Next, Masha from Ohio.
Hello. I wasn't expecting to get called so soon. I'm at the top of the screen. I had a couple of more experiences with like knowing, where the knowing is separated. And so I was going to tell you about those. One, this happened last week. I was in a dream. I was dreaming. And then all of a sudden, I was out of the dream and I was that light and free knowing. And I could recall the dream, and then but I was free. I was just totally free of it. And then I don't know what happened afterwards. These things happen so fast. And then I think the next day, I woke up. I woke up real suddenly. And I was just, there was like knowing, and there was the body. And it was like I wasn't doing anything, but the body had this energy. And I was just like on automatic, getting up, getting dressed, making the bed. And I was free, and I was just knowing that I was doing these things. And all of the experiences have that same flavor of being so light and apart and free, and I don't know what's happening.
Just, just if you're happy, that's all that matters.
Those states are very happy because you're.
If you're
all
not
there
sad,
is
if you're not sad, if you're not suffering, then it's okay.
I mean, I know there's.
The goal of practice is to eliminate suffering or sadness from the mind and keep the mind peaceful and happy or contented.
Okay. There's one nun, I think her name was Ayakema, and she wrote a book and she titled it Being Nobody, Going Nowhere. And then and I had a monk tell me once that was what Nibbana was, that you didn't become anybody and you didn't go anywhere. But it's kind of strange when you have these experiences, you're still a somebody so long as you have the body, and then you're like a nobody at the same time. So I guess that's the happiness, that the good kind of a happiness. I guess I'm confusing you.
No, it's just an experience that you're experiencing. And if it makes you happy, content, and then it's okay.
Okay. I think so.
Make sure that you don't have any anxiety, worry, or frustration, or anything like that. Just be merely knowing. This is a state of equanimity of the mind, when you just merely know what's going on, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to react to anything.
Okay.
See, we can do this in all the time during your waking hours. It's merely going about doing your business, and don't have any any sense of possessing or anything like that. Everything just there, and you just use it. But if you should use it, if you should lose it, then it's okay, as long as you don't have any attachment to them.
Yeah, I could relate to what Rohini was saying, in that there's a certain point where you become disinterested in everything. You know that there's nothing to chase after because nothing is going to deliver any kind of meaning or happiness. And then sometimes it's hard to work with that because you don't have the initiative or the drive to accomplish things anymore. And then at the same time, I don't always have the drive to practice more either. And there's kind of a place where maybe I'm not practicing enough, but sometimes I feel like even that desire, times when I've had that desire to accomplish in my practice, also has led to a lot of frustration. And so I'm kind of floating between that, what do I do?
Maybe you have overreached your goal already. You have surpassed your goal. You have practiced too far. Maybe it's time to stop practicing.
I don't think so, but
why not?
That's good. That will convince me to keep going.
That's the goal of practice, is to stop practicing altogether. But find that you don't need to do any more practice anymore, because there's nothing to achieve. What is there to achieve anyway, right?
That is really true. That's very true. I'm gonna think about that one. Yeah, and I guess I have this idea in the back of my mind that I was in Florida and there was a little Burmese temple that I used to go to. And I had a practice buddy. I would meet this lady and we would practice several times a week at the Burmese temple. And there was a wonderful master there, and he didn't speak much English. So she would translate for me. But one time he told me that at the time of death, you could enter the stream at that moment of death. And then I've heard otherwise that no, that's, not true. But can you get these attainments? Like if you work hard and you have some clarity at that moment, can that point of stream entry happen?
It can happen if you prepare yourself to take the test. See, death is the test of whether you are able to let go of your attachment to your body or not. If you can let go of your attachment to the body and not being affected by death, then you have entered the stream.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay, something like that.
But right now you have to prepare your mind to let go. See, maybe right now there's no condition that will force you to let go of your attachment. So you need something like that to force you to choose whether you want to be attached to the body or to be detached from the body. If you attach to the body, you'll get suffering. If you detach from the body, you'll get peace.
It's so interesting you would bring that up, because when I was younger, it was about 30 years ago, I got deathly sick. I had a terrible pneumonia and I wasn't in a position to see a doctor or anything. And I had 3 little kids, and my husband and I were going to move somewhere. And I got so sick, and he wrapped me up in every blanket or shirt that we could find in the house. And then during that time, I had a knowing. It was like a voice or a presence said, well, do you want to keep living, or do you want to die now? And I answered, I don't know how I answered, because it's through awareness. And I said, well, I want to stay, and I want to help my husband raise these children. And then I woke up the next day, and it took a long time for me to be better, but I did have that one encounter with death, and I chose not to die. I did not want to die at that point. So I guess I'll get another test. I'm older soon, so the test could come anytime.
Yes. If you're willing to die, then you will have peace. You would have no suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Okay.
won't come back and take another birth either.
I
So
think that's
it's a matter of seeing the body as being impermanent, having no self, and that our suffering is caused by our attachment to this body. So if we don't want to have any suffering, then we have to let go of the attachment to the body.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm going to work on that. Thank you so much. I'm going to
Okay.
pay special attention to that. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Next, Koksing from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. Yeah, just to update you, yesterday I was able to walk the 15 minutes to the marketplace to offer dana for the monks on Pindapata. And as I was walking along the 15 minutes, I was chanting Buddha Buddha all the way as long as I'm mindful. But in between, there are also some stray thoughts coming in. So despite the crows crowing, I just keep chanting Buddha Buddha Buddha. Yeah. So that's the update to Prajan. I yeah, so it does not bother me, and so I just keep Buddha Buddha Buddha. Yeah.
And you don't feel intimidated by the crows anymore.
Oh, even though I have that aversion to the crow, so I just I don't want to stare at them because sometimes staring at them they may feel intimidated and then they may not like it. So I just continue, just walk and just chant Buddha Buddha. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
good.
Uh, yeah, actually, Praja, I was contemplating actually why I have that aversion to the crow, and I think one of the reasons was because I've seen crow as being a bully among the bird species because I've seen crow chasing away other birds like pigeons, myna, sparrows, and all those smaller birds. And whenever they are eating some food, the crow will come and chase all the birds away. So I when I saw this, I thought, yeah, this crow is like acting as a bully, and I don't like bully, even for human beings as well. So I think it's because of um, this dislikes of bully, and that's why I have that aversion for uh, aversion and dislike for crow. But I think this way of thinking and this way of understanding is not the right view of looking at crow because uh, crow is part of nature, so I should have the right thinking regarding how crow should behave and how crow should not behave. Yeah. So maybe Prajan, you can just correct my wrong view of viewing how I should my perspective of how I should look at some of the animals like crows, which are the more aggressive type among their species.
You just have to accept them for what they are, that's all. Don't try to change them.
Mm.
You cannot change them. You cannot change apple into bananas. You cannot change crows into eagles.
Mm.
They are what they are. Just
Yes.
accept them for what they are.
Mm. Okay.
If they are harmful to you, then try to stay away from them. That's all. If you can.
Mm. Okay. And yeah, so just like snakes, we try as far as possible try to avoid this stepping on snakes and so on. So because snakes, they will just behave as what snakes supposed to do.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Prajan, just to update. So for this afternoon, so I actually planned to meditate for 3 hours, but after about an hour plus, so I feel a bit sleepy. So I was thinking, okay, I'll just lie down on the bed for a short while. But I didn't realize that after I wake up, it was about 2 hours past. So I was thinking, so now on reflection, I should have revert to walking meditation when I'm feeling sleepy instead of lying down for a short while. Yeah, because once I lie down, I do not know how long, yeah, I may just fall asleep for, yeah, some quite longer time than what I expect.
Yes, it depends on whether you can do it or not. Even if you want to walk, meditate, and you can still still feel sleepy and you might not be able to walk anyway. So if you really have to sleep, go to sleep. Then you just take a nap. And then after you finish, then you can wake up and continue on with your practice again.
Okay. Okay, I will bear that in mind. Yeah, the last thing, Praja, may I just check with you? Earlier in the meeting, you mentioned something about metta to one of the participants, that practicing metta should be when we are with other people instead of chanting to oneself. And I have this practice of chanting metta to just before I start my meditation, which is something like be may I be free from enmity, free from ill will and untroubled. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be free from stress. May I achieve happiness. So I will repeat this 3 times before I start my meditation. So is this okay? Because yeah, it's not practicing, but it's just chanting mentally to myself.
Well, if it makes your mind calm, that's okay. That's the purpose, is to calm your mind down.
Okay.
Prepare your mind for meditation.
Yes. Then,
Okay.
but when I'm traveling by train, I would the 30 minutes by normally when I go to my mother's place, when I go, I will also do the same metta chanting mentally, and instead of say putting it in action. So is that all right?
Well, you can do the chant. The chant is for the purpose of building up mindfulness, or calming your mind. But to practice loving kindness, you have to do the action itself. Practice means doing the action. So you might want to buy some gift to your mother when you go see her. Get her some gift to make her happy. This is showing that you're having loving kindness for her. Or during the time when you're staying with her, if she makes you angry, you should forgive her and try to stop your anger. Try not to react with anger toward her. This is practicing loving kindness by doing, not by chanting. Chanting is the purpose of chanting is to develop mindfulness or calming your mind.
Okay. Good.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Praja.
Okay. You're welcome. Next, Lynn from Indonesia. Haven't seen you for a while.
Good evening, Panajan. Yeah, I went to stay at the monastery for 3 months.
In Indonesia?
No, in Perth.
In Perth, okay. Ajaan Brahm's monastery?
That's true.
Where there are the bhikkhunis there?
Yes.
They are all bhikkhunis and women staying in that monastery.
The nun monastery, yes.
Yeah, nun monastery.
Yeah.
No male, no monks.
No.
Okay.
Mm.
So how do you find it? Good?
Very peaceful. And then lots of joy because we got lots of time to practice meditation.
Mm.
So after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we can just do our self-retreat. We can just practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe you can recommend to Celia in Peru. She's looking for a place to meditate, to live as a nun.
Yeah.
Is it possible to ordain as a bhikkhuni there?
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They take overseas candidate also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The place is very conducive. So during my stay in there, I was more able to be more mindful, and I can see lots of my defilements that I could never see before. Yeah. So I can see anger coming up, and then boredom and jealousy So because I was more mindful and because I practiced more in meditation, so I could restrain myself from reacting. So which is good.
Good.
So
You need to restrain yourself in order to let your defilement appear more.
so why is that we need to restrain ourselves so the defilement can
So
appear?
then you can catch the defilement, get rid of them.
Okay, so we put ourselves onto the test, is that right?
That's right, more or less. If we're not putting on the test, then the defilement doesn't have to come up yet. Yeah. So when you if you take the 8 precept and not eating after midday, then your defilement of hunger will come up. Hunger for food will come up after midday.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you can see it because you know you're not supposed to be eating. So then you know this hunger is defilement. But if you're not keeping the 8 precept, then you think, oh, this hunger is natural.
Yes. That's right.
That's why we have to restrain our action. The more we restrain, the more we'll see the resistance of the defilement coming up. Then we can get rid of them. Say, oh, this is no good. Jealousy is no good. Anger is no good. Because it makes the mind restless and agitated. So how's your mother? Did she go with you to the monastery?
She came, my family came to visit me. They came to stay for a week to see how I was going in the monastery.
You stayed there for 3 months, you said?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
On what condition? They just accept you just because you applied for a stay there?
Yeah, it is actually a 3-month observation stay. Yes. So we could apply for it.
Anybody who's interested can apply for the 3-month observation period.
Yes, but they got to know the person first because at first maybe they can go there for a few weeks or a month to stay, and they're interested, and the monastery think that the person is good enough, like suitable for in the monastery, so they can extend the stay.
Yes. Same way with us here. We have male practitioners who stay with monks on the mountain. We allow them to stay for 2 weeks first.
Yes.
Then after that, if they want to continue on, we have to see whether they are compatible with us or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we don't know people's character until we live with them.
Until the defilement comes out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, do you have any question?
I've got one question about dreams because today we got lots of discussion about dreams. I can hardly remember my dreams. Is that because I'm not mindful enough?
No, it's usually dreamers where as soon as you wake up, you have other thoughts coming up. So this will then override your dreams. You can forget the dreams easily. Unless if the dreams are really strong and it gives you a big impression, then you might be able to remember it longer.
But is that because I've got many thoughts and my mind is too busy to remember the dreams?
Maybe, I don't know. But dreams, they come and go, When you get up, then you have to think about something else to do, what you have to do. Then what you doing can be put in the back of your mind, you can forget it easily. And not unless you keep recollecting, thinking about it. Then you can maintain that dream, that memory longer.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajaan, for your guidance. Thank you.
Okay.
I like my practice. Thank you so much.
Right. You're welcome. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm listening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, Ajahn. Ajahn, thank you, Ajahn. I'm very happy today. Just now, I got new best quote when Ajahn explained to Jason that we use the Asubha, which already embedded in our mind as the result of our practice, becoming our part of consciousness. So can I say that in this life, if I want to be in the path, I should reinstall my mind with all of the good things so that all of the good things will become my part of my consciousness. That's why Achan encourages students to have mindfulness so that when we face problems and all difficulty in life, we can stay in the present and use all of our well-practiced consciousness to come along with all of that problem and difficulties. Correct me if I'm wrong, Achan.
Yes, but you have to you have to store the right information in your mind. And the right information that you should store in the mind is the three characteristics of existence. Anicca, dukkha, and
Dukkha
anatta.
anatta.
And asubha is part of the anicca. See, the body is anicca, so it turns from a living body into a corpse. So just think of everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's all you have to do. Incorporate this knowledge in your mind. Whenever you see anything, you have to look at them as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay. Okay, Achan. And every day, actually, I dream. I dream every day, but my dreams are my reality, Achan. So I have a clue of everything. Usually, I have a clue in my dreams, so I can remember my dream preciously. Uh, I don't know what happened, but before when I do chanting, I pray that I don't want to see all of the creature, the peta. So please don't show me your look. But if you want to say something or you want to send some information, you can send me by dreams. That's why until today I dreams every day, Achan. So
So
sometimes in my dreams,
dream is something impossible for you to control. So let them come and go as they like.
oh yeah. But sometimes because sometimes in my dreams I can be aware that don't do that. And sometimes when my sister come out in my dreams, I say to her, you have already passed away. Why you come to me? So from that dream, I know that she has already reborn in human living like that, Ajahn.
Okay.
So I cannot stop my dreams.
All right. You don't have to stop them because you cannot stop them. When you go to sleep, you don't have mindfulness, so you cannot stop them. But you don't have to believe in them either, because what you believe to be true might not be true until you have proven it. So don't believe your dreams until you can prove it to be true or not.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, then. So I keep on practicing and
Yeah,
developing my mindfulness.
And forget about the dreams, ignore them. Don't think about them.
Yeah.
Think only of anicca. Everything is anicca. Even those dreams are anicca. They are anicca, they are anatta. You cannot control them. They come and go. So if you don't have any attachment to them, then there will be no dukkha for you. If you have attachment, then you can get dukkha from your dreams also.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
you're welcome. Next, Nita and Saket, are you still in the US or have you got to India now?
Good evening, Tanajan. We are in India now.
I see, okay. Looks like a different home.
Yes, this is the new rental apartment that we are staying. It's close to Saket's parents' home, so we keep them. And
Okay.
I
How,
spend
how do
time
you
with.
feel once you have arrived?
We arrived a few days ago, still jet lagged. Mind is all over the place. Sometimes mindfulness goes down, defilements come up. Lot of emotions, lot of changes happening. We're still settling in, and the routine has to form. So yeah, lots
Yeah.
happen. But it feels good. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be close to the family, and it feels good to not be thinking about work. And whenever we have time, if there is solitude, we practice meditation. If you're with family, we practice loving kindness with family.
Good. Okay.
But yes, defilements are definitely, a lot of defilements are still there. So a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, use mindfulness to stop them. When you have defilement coming up, you can recite Bhutto, Bhutto, or Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, and this can stop them from getting out of hand. So you have any question, Saket or Nita?
Um, Well, yes, first of all, Ajahn, I just wanted to thank you so much for your guidance. So we could come here and start this new phase in our lives. Thank you so much, Tanajan. I had a curious question because right now I'm often with my mother, kind of just caring for her. And then sometimes I get a chance to meditate. And I just wanted to know if I'm meditating without a clock, then sometimes I wonder, well, I've been sitting for a while. Should I get up and start walking? Or I've been walking for a while. Should I now sit down? And how do I decide that, yeah, now it's a good time for me to change posture?
Well, normally you want to sit as long as possible until you feel the body become too painful for you to sit. Then you get up and walk. Walk until you feel that the body become painful from walking, then you sit.
That's
Simple.
great.
Yeah, that's the reason for changing the posture due to the body's pain. See, you cannot sit for forever. So uh, after a certain length of time, the body will say, enough, I don't want to sit anymore. Okay, so then you have to comply to the wish of your body by walking, changing posture. And even after walking and sitting, you might want to lay down also. You want to go to sleep. So you change according to the need of the body. But the practice is still the same. You still maintain mindfulness in every posture of the body. If you use mantra, keep continuing with the mantra. If you're watching the breath when you sit, then you have to watch the movement of the body when you walk instead. Or if you can watch your breath, then you can also watch your breath while you walk. But it's very I never tried this method before, but some people say they can watch the breath as they walk. That's okay also, as long as you have mindfulness, not allowing your mind to go think aimlessly.
Okay, Ajahn. Now, Ajahn, some people talk about the pain. They say that we should sit through the pain to a point where it starts decreasing. Do you recommend that, or is it?
That's another level. See, once you want to move higher, you want to be able to be able to live with the pain without having to run away from it. But you need stronger mindfulness. You need stronger equanimity, or you need to understand the nature of pain. That is anicca, dukkha, anatta. that you cannot control them, you cannot push them away. Only way to deal with them in a way that it will not hurt you is to be accepting them, accepting the pain. Not try to have any aversion for them. Because when you have aversion, you get suffering in your mind. So you don't want to cause your mind to have any suffering. So you have to just accept them by using mindfulness and equanimity to cope with them. Then eventually the mind will not be affected by the pain of the body. So when you get old, when you get sick, then the sickness will not be excruciating for you. You can be happy even when your body is sick or dying, for instance. So this is the purpose of practice, to train the mind to be able to accept the pain of the body, because we cannot just push it away. Sometimes we can, like when we sit and we feel painful, we can get up and then we can push the pain away. But when we get sick in the body, we cannot push it away. So only way to be able to live with them happily is to accept them. So you have to practice this until your mind become ready, able to accept the pain. Then there will be no suffering in the mind when there's pain in the body. But if you're not strong enough yet, if your mindfulness is not strong enough to be able to accept the pain, then you might just have to change posture, get up and walk. But eventually you want to go through the pain and let the pain rise and subside by itself. Can you do that, you think? When your body feels painful, you just sit there and recite Bhutto, 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 and ignore the pain until the mind becomes calm and stop reacting to the pain. Then you can stop reciting the mantra. If you can do that, then it will be good for you, because you won't have to take any painkiller anymore. When your body have any pain, you don't have to take any painkiller, because your mind is not affected by the pain. Understand?
Yes, certainly, Ajaan. Ajaan.
Okay.
Namaste, Ajaan.
Anything else?
No, that's it for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, I hope you enjoy your new place. And
Yes, I had the happiest Monday morning yesterday. No Monday morning blues, and
yeah,
this has been great.
as long as you don't have any aversion, I think you can live happily anywhere. But as soon as you have aversion, then you will find it impossible to live there. So try to get rid of your aversion. Don't move. The place, there's nothing wrong with the place. It's the mind that doesn't want to accept the place.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you, Ajaan.
Ajaan.
Thank you.
Good luck to your new life.
Thank you.
Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Ajahn, good evening. So, like we've been discussing the whole evening, it is the mind. It is the mind that is pulled to all this craving and aversion and things like that, and it is the body that only feels it. One has to be, I guess, calm in order for you to face this aversions or all these cravings which come into the mind.
Yes, when your mind is calm, then the aversion cannot arise, cannot come up. See, and when there's no aversion, then there's no suffering in the mind.
Yes. Debbie, I don't have any questions tonight. I'm just listening in to just basically most of the questions that been asked today is just basically about aversion and craving. I
It's
guess.
about defilement, getting rid of defilement,
Yeah.
so that you don't have any suffering, any dukkha.
Whether it's good or, I mean, the dukkha can be from a good feeling and a bad, or even an aversion. Yeah.
Well, if you have attachment to good feeling, when good feeling disappear, then you can become sad. So you don't want to be attached to good feeling, or you don't want to have aversion toward bad feeling either. You just want to remain neutral. No reaction to any type of feeling. Let them come and go as they like the weather.
Yes, like the weather. Like you have always been saying, like the weather.
They come and go. You cannot stop them.
Yeah, you can't scold the weather, right? Yeah. Okay, Ajahn, I don't have any more questions tonight.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, Ajahn.
Diana from Canada, somewhere near Toronto.
No, but Ajahn Suchart.
How
Yes,
are you?
good. The city here is called King City.
King City. Okay.
It's not a big. It's more like a town actually.
How far is it from Toronto?
On the highway, about 1 hour.
Okay.
On the fast.
On the
If you go
freeway. On the
yeah, on the
freeway.
freeway. On the freeway, it's about 1 hour. But it's not a very, like, it's a rich community, but not very community developed yet. Like they just opened the new community center. So it's very low crime. Almost no people walking. Everybody just drives. Some buses are there.
Do you work there, or do you work someplace else?
Well, right now I'm a little bit in between. So it's a little bit less working, and for working I drive out. There isn't much here for teaching, like what I've started to do with my since I've had my daughter. Is last year I was teaching a lot at different cities, driving out a lot, each day driving out. So this year I've reduced it a little bit because it was too much.
Okay. You have any question?
Yes, I have some technical question. I decided to make notes this time because I sometimes I lose them. So for my practice, I had a question about my sitting practice. So I because I got a lot of answers about trying not to move until the body is in pain, but I don't sit long enough for my body to be in that much pain, like mostly an hour, like at best maybe like 2, but I just don't have the time for that because there's still chores to be done. So then when I find my back hunched over, and then before the instruction I was following was it was okay to just gently shift it back. But now it seems that even that movement is kind of interrupting the stillness. Is that right?
Yes, you don't want to move the body at all when you meditate.
So then what to do when I find the body hunched over? Just keep it that way?
Yes, just keep it that way.
For how long?
Until you stop meditating.
Okay. I'm gonna try that now because I've always like kind of ended up shifting it, and then I always wondered if I should have done that or not.
No, because if you do that, you're restarting your meditation. As soon as you return to the body, it's like restarting your meditation again. So you're not getting anywhere.
Okay.
When you meditate, you want to leave the body alone. Don't want to do anything, have anything to do with it.
Oh, okay. Because I've now that I recall, I've tried both ways and I never figured out which way was the correct one. Okay. Okay. Some progress I made with my breathing and the Buddha chant mantra. So my question is now that, well, at least for this past week, I was able to get to this space where the breathing kind of calmed down. It wasn't as physical anymore. It felt like it was like more internal, and it wasn't as clear here. But I knew it was here, and I knew my mind was here, and I was more successful to come back here, even if it was going somewhere. And then it felt like there were times where it stayed here longer, like, in that area for the breathing. So like, is it time now to start doing Vipassana, or should I just like keep staying here longer?
No, you should just stay with the breath for the duration of your meditation practice. Don't do any Vipassana. If you want to do any Vipassana, you have to wait until you finish your meditation
Like
session first.
finish 1 hour?
Whatever, however long you want to. If you want to meditate, you want to stop thinking, you want to calm the mind.
Yeah.
You don't want to do any thinking at all.
Oh, and for Vipassana, I have to do thinking.
That's right. So you have to wait until you finish with your meditation, and until you start to think, then you can then continue with Vipassana contemplation.
Oh, I got confused just now. Can you repeat that?
When you meditate, you want to still your mind. You want to stop thinking. So during meditation for calm, you don't want to do any Vipassana.
Mm-hmm. And so just leave the body scanning for after.
After you finish your meditation, you come out of meditation, then you can do Vipassana in any posture. You don't have to sit down and meditate to do Vipassana.
Oh, okay. I thought I still had to sit in order to do the sampajanya of the sensations, no?
No, you can do it in any posture. Like
That's
right
just
now,
right. Okay.
like right now, you can contemplate on the 32 parts of the body if you like.
If I'm not listening to you.
Yeah, right. If you're not doing anything else,
Okay.
But when you meditate, you don't want to do any thinking. You want to still the mind
Mm-hmm.
for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then my other technical question is, after my meditation practice, after my sitting practice, when I'm getting up, I find that I've been finding this week that I'm quick to anger at things that are not really like how I like them to be. And then only after I experience that aversion, I catch it that I haven't been mindful. So my question is like, is that because I have not intentionally kept my mindfulness going?
Well, when you don't have mindfulness, then it's easy for your defilement to come up.
So in order to keep the mindfulness, like it inquires me to always do it intentionally. Or is there a point at some point in the practice where it just happens, or your mindfulness just stays with you?
After you practice long enough, then it becomes automatic, yes. But when you're first starting, right now, it comes on and off. So it's your duty to keep pushing your mindfulness to come on. It likes to go off more than come on. So you have to force it to come on by reciting a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, or force it to watch your body movement.
Okay, so I'll try to add to my training, like especially like I find when the practice is finished, like the mind like really like relaxes too much, and it loses it.
Then you have to bring it back up, bring your
Yeah.
mindfulness back up again.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a question. I had a question about my mother. So the question is like practical. Is there a line somewhere between where is that line, if it exists, between like when, because I've been trying to kind of you know agree with what she's asking me to do, and I found that as long as it had to do something with outside, it was so much easier. But then as soon as it, like, I think last time she suggested she wanted me to get a haircut and dye my hair, and I can't remember exactly how I responded, but I didn't. But the bottom line is that I didn't agree to it because it's just, I don't even know why. I guess it just, time-wise, it takes a lot of effort. So I was just wondering if it was another thing where my mind is wrong. I should have just agreed to it. Or
just don't react. Just let her say what she wants to say, and you do what you think is best for you.
so just agree again, but just not do it.
Yeah, agreeing but not doing what she wants you to do, because it's your body. You have the right to decide what you want to do with your body, not her. But you just don't want to get into an argument with her.
Yeah.
You just keep silent. That's all. Let you say whatever she wants to say, and you just reply, "Yes, mother. Yes, mother." And then she'll forget what she said in a few minutes anyway.
Yeah, okay, I will try this next time, because we will go and start to visit, and I know it's something that is paining her to look at my uncut, undyed hair, because I do have some grays. But then if it comes to the point, it's like, well, we have time right now. Let's go to the hairdresser right now, because that's how it used to happen when I was younger. Then is it okay to just how to find a gentle way to back out of it? Or should I just go with it and let her do whatever? Again, to avoid the argument.
Well, the goal is not to have any argument, so whichever way you do, you can prevent the argument to happen, then that's okay. That's good.
Okay. There wasn't an argument afterwards, but I could feel that she was left unhappy, and then the argument happened about like another next thing.
That's too bad for her, because it's her own doing that she makes herself unhappy, not you. You didn't do anything to her.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I did ask about.
Okay, we have to wrap up your question.
Okay, next time.
Okay, we have a few more people waiting. All right. Okay, next, Tommy from Australia.
นมัสการครับ
สวัสดีสบายดี
Is my sound working okay?
Yes.
Wanted to ask what the relationship between the chitta and vijnana is.
Oh, vijnana is a function of the chitta. Excuse me. See, the mind, the chitta has 4 functions. It has the ability to feel, which is vedana, to think, which is sankhara, to remember or to perceive, which is sanya, and to be able to receive information from the sensual organs of the body, called vijnana. So this vijnana receive information from the sensual organs of the body, like the sensual objects come through the sensual organs of the body, then it's being delivered by sanya, by vijnana to the mind, relay to the mind.
So does the chitta become vijnana?
There are 2 vijnana. I think one is the one that we talk about, the function of the mind. And then another vijnana is, in Thai, we use it to refer to the spirit. When the body dies, then the mind becomes vijnana, a spiritual being.
Okay.
But I
And
think this is only in time. We call the mind a spiritual being, vijnana. But I don't think it appears in the Pali or anywhere else. I think
see.
it's only Thai usage. We call the mind
Okay.
without a body a vijnana, a vinyan, dong vinyan.
I understand. And what is the definition of vitaka vichara?
Is the vitaka vichara is when you think. See, they call. I'm not sure in English what they translate into is two types of thinking. Like when you meditate, you think about your breath, and you know your breath is coming in or going out. This is vitaka vichara.
Yeah.
Thinking about your meditation object only, not thinking about anything else.
So it's like taking up the
Thoughts about your meditation object or your mantra. You're thinking about your mantra. Am I still saying mantra or not saying mantra? This is vitaka vichara.
So at a certain point, this never happened to me. I just read about it. It's like you're not in control anymore. It's like you let go of putting in effort into the object, and it's like you're on the roller coaster or something. Is this letting go of vitaka vichara?
I'm not sure. I think when the mind starts to enter into the second jhana, I think vitaka vichara just stop. It's not necessary to have it anymore. Vitaka vichara is like a rocket booster that sends the space capsule into the space. At one point, it was separate from the space capsule.
I see.
Once it has delivered the space capsule into space, it's separate from the space capsule. So vitaka vichara is sending the mind to jhana, into the second jhana. Once it enters the second jhana, then it doesn't need to have any vitaka vichara anymore.
So the big debate is whether there is like thinking in first jhana.
Yes, vitaka vichara is the first jhana. See?
So,
but the second, third, and fourth has no thinking anymore.
Okay. And is upajara samadhi after coming out of jhana, is that stronger? Is it a different type of upajara?
Yes,
than before?
Upajara samadhi is something that is different from the apana samadhi. Apana samadhi is the fourth jhana. Some people, once they get to the fourth jhana, they don't remain there. They come out somewhere in between the fourth and the fifth jhana and enter into the realm of the spiritual beings. That's when you are able to contact the spiritual beings with this type of samadhi, we call Upajara samadhi. It's a psychic mode, let's put it that way. Psychic mode of the mind, which not everybody can get to. Only very few people, not every meditator can get to this Upajara mode, psychic mode. Where they can recollect past life, they have some special psychic power, reading the mind of other people, for instance, being able to communicate with other spiritual beings.
So you say this is between the fourth and fifth?
Somewhere there. It doesn't remain in the fourth. It came out once it got to the fourth. It came out and started to enter into the spiritual space of it, where it can then connect with other spiritual beings. Like the Buddha, when he give Dharma talk to the spiritual being, the devas, he has to use this mode of samadhi, psychic mode. It's not important anyway because this psychic mode can be harmful to your path to enlightenment because it can become a distraction and cause you to lose your way toward enlightenment. So if you don't have this mode, then you don't have to worry about it. If you do have this mode when you're practicing samadhi, you should bring it back into the fourth jhana. Keep it still and peaceful and content. Because without contentment, without equanimity, you cannot use wisdom to get rid of your defilement. You cannot stop your defilement with just wisdom alone. You need equanimity from the fourth jhana to be able to stop your defilement. I think you're gone from the screen. I'm not sure where you are. Are you still here? I don't think so. Okay, maybe his connection is lost. I'll go to the next person, which is Gary from Singapore. Hi, Gary.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have no questions tonight. Just happily to be listening to you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to Colorado with Julia. Hi, Julia. You have to turn on your microphone. Yeah. It's not on yet. Okay.
สวัสดีค่ะพระอาจารย์
สบายดี
สบายค่ะ Is
ส
that
บายดี
right?
ค่ะ สบายดีค่ะ
สบายดีค่ะ So it's a nice difference when the people ask the precise meditation questions. It's really useful to listen. So I feel grateful. My question is a little bit more external. So I've been enjoying doing yoga asanas more, like the India kind. They also have, like, I dedicate, in my life to Buddha Dhamma, but I also find that, that tradition of the asana, they also have a path of 8 and some similarities and some differences, but I feel like doing the postures, it brings back the mind from the state that Ajaan was just describing back down a little bit, so that it keeps the concentration more, it keeps it in a more embodied realm. And I find that maybe that's beneficial. Does Ajaan do any kind of movement exercise? I really respect one Ajaan who does yoga asana and another Ajaan who does qigong. So I wonder, is that a normal thing?
Yes, we can do stretching and bending our body to get rid of some of the physical pain from the body. To stretch our muscles. Sometimes it gets too tight. So we stretch them by stretching our body in various ways. But this is mainly for the body. But if you want to do it for your mind, you also have to be mindful with every movement of your posture.
Okay.
Then you are doing it for the body and the mind as well. The mind can get benefit from being mindful, and the body can get benefit from having the body posture change or switch or stretch. So it depends on how you do your yoga. If you do without mindfulness, then you only do for the body. But if you do with mindfulness, then you do both for the mind and the body as well.
Okay. Okay. Does Theravada teaching describe how to work with like the channels, the Jingnuo, the Nading channels, meridians?
What kind of channels you say?
Like the channels in the body.
Oh, we don't do that. We don't consider anything like that. We just keep control of the mind, make it still and not restless or agitated. That's the goal of our practice. But to control the mind, to control our thoughts, and to teach and direct our thought in a way that will make us have wisdom. So we don't study about the channel or the streams, whatever inside the body or in the mind. We only look for the defilement and get rid of them. That's all in the mind.
Okay.
Understand what I'm saying?
I try my best to explore those experiences, but it's not perfect.
Okay, anything else?
At this time, I'm just listening. Yeah. Anumodana.
Okay, Sadhu. I'll go to Jacob now. Hi, Jacob. Where are you from?
Hello. Thank you for being able to attend here. It's a bit surreal, to be honest, that it's possible to speak on the internet with, with you and with other people. I'm from Germany, near Hamburg, small city.
Yes. Is there any question you'd like to ask?
Yes, there is. Thank you. At the moment, I like for the last for like some period, I experience a lot of emotional dukkha, and it's I find it quite difficult to find inner security, and then I try to look for security outside, and this seems to be unstable as well. And I find it really difficult to find an inner refuge. And I would like to ask if you have advice how to develop that.
Yes, you need to develop mindfulness. So if you have mindfulness, then you can have control over your emotions. You can calm your mind and stop your restlessness and agitation. And the way to develop mindfulness is either reciting a mantra like Bhutto, Bhutto as much as possible from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Or if you cannot recite mantra all the time, you can switch to watching your body movement. Tie your mind with the body. Don't let your mind go thinking about other things except your body. Watch what your body is doing at the moment. If you're walking, watch that walking. If you're sitting, if you're standing, just keep watching. If you're eating, watching. If you're taking a bath, just keep watching the body. Don't let the mind go think about other things. Then you can eliminate or control your emotion that way. Your emotion is caused by your thinking. See, so when there are no thinking, then the mind becomes empty, peaceful, and calm, without any emotion. And if you can have time to sit down still and then watch your breath instead, meditate by watching your breath to continue controlling or stopping your thoughts. And eventually you might be able to still the mind completely when the mind enters into jhana. and you feel a sense of well-being and happiness or contentment from entering into jhana. Then all the worry, anxiety, all the emotion will be gone from your mind most of the time. Whenever you have emotion or restlessness or agitation, you can start reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto right away. After a while, the emotion or the restlessness and agitation will disappear. Okay, have you tried doing any mantra, reciting any mantra before?
I have tried before, yes. And there was some time ago, I started to develop quite a severe mental illness, psychosis, and it my internally some aspects of it were connected to Buddhism. I used some aspects of Buddhism to develop like kilesas even more because I practiced incorrectly, and there was quite some time where I tried to practice meditation, and it always seemed to go in the wrong direction at that time. But yes, at the moment I don't have as much guidance, so I'm not really trusting myself whether I can meditate or not. But at the moment, I think it is possible, and I will.
Yes, the right way to meditate. The right way to meditate is to have mindfulness controlling your mind. When you meditate, you have to be mindful of something like your breath or a mantra. Then you can keep the mind still, peaceful, and happy. When you lose your mindfulness, then your mind can become restless and agitated and emotional. So you have to bring back mindfulness. That's all you have to do. The word is mindfulness, the key to a peaceful and contented mind. Anything else?
Not for the moment. I think it's best to just practice now. Yes.
Okay, try to practice mindfulness. You'll see the difference. I guarantee you, if you can continue with your mindfulness practice. You see that your mind become more clearer, more empty, more peaceful, and more happy.
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, next PL and Indira. Haven't seen you for a while, Indira.
Good
You were
morning,
gone last week,
Translator.
huh?
Yes, I was a little busy with my mother, so yeah, I was being good, just like you said. I was being a servant and a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And maybe it was a little too much for me, but it's okay. Now there's a balance.
If you want to show loving kindness, that's what you have to do.
Yes.
Make other people happy.
Yes, I've been doing that very much, but I'm getting old too, so but yeah, now I have found a bit of a balance, so which is good, Ajaan. Yes.
I have been the reindeer of Santa Claus.
You have been Rudolph the red nose.
He always becomes a good person with my mother.
What happened to your red nose?
Only when she hits me.
God, that's horrible.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just joking.
How are you, Ajaan?
Very well, thank you.
So nice to see you.
Yes, after so long. It's very cold here. It's -12, I think, and -26 with the wind chill. So we are
really
freezing.
cold, really cold.
No. Yeah, so we had to heat the car before getting in, even just like everything is so cold, frozen.
Yeah, but it's okay. Ajahn Brahm says when it is that cold, to keep a
warm heart. Yeah, he calls it Buddhist climate control. When the mind is hot, no, when it is hot, keep a cool mind. When it is cold, keep a warm heart.
Yeah.
It's called Buddhist climate.
Yes. Okay. Do you have anything to say? We're running out of time, but you can.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, we just wanted to see
Say
you.
hi.
Thank you so much. Everyone,
Okay.
Saranai.
Happy to see you both. Hope you are well and happy.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So we can check. Unmute your microphone first. Okay.
That's very good.
Greetings, Tanaja.
Greeting, Tanjan.
No question.
No, no question.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Sri?
I initially got a question, but I think I found the answer. So
Okay, good then.
Thank you,
thank you,
Tanaja.
Tanjan.
Okay, I'll move on because
It's late.
yeah, quite late. Okay, next is Kunjup. Do you have any question from other sources?
Yes, we do. We have 6 questions. And the first question is from the assistant Gmail, and it's from Yi A. My family members do not understand Tama, so whenever a problem arises, the discussion will end with them start bullying me. And I also start explain to them, hoping that they understand my point of view. I realize that I have to face this issue for the rest of my life, and this dukkha makes me unhappy. Can Ajahn give a suggestion on how I should deal with this?
Yes, simply let them be, let them say whatever they want to say, and don't try to change them. That's all. Your dukkha arising from your desire to try to change them or make them understand yourself. But since they don't want to understand you, then don't try to make them understand you. That's all. Let them do whatever they want to do.
The rest of the questions are from Facebook. The question from Sam Hu. Bow to Ajahn. May I ask, is it possible for someone with thick defilement, if they keep practicing samadhi and vipassana, that their defilement seems not to be thinner over years, but all of a sudden he gets enlightened as a sotapanna?
Anything is possible.
Or one's defilement must get thinner and thinner until they reach the stage of sotapanna?
Like I said, anything is possible. There are many different ways of becoming a sotapanna.
The next question is from C. Ratnan. Good evening, Tanajan. If I'm the only daughter of my mom, then I make a wish to be dead after my mom so that I can take good care of her. Is this craving or good aspiration? Thank you.
It's just delusional because you cannot wish things like this. You don't know when you're gonna die, who's gonna die first or die last. So you must be realistic by accepting whatever is gonna happen. If she die first, that's okay. If you die first, that's okay also. This should be your attitude. So you don't have to create unnecessary dukkha for yourself.
The next question is from Paul Lim. Tanajan, I notice when monks are on alms round, they are barefooted. So we lay people should also be barefooted when we offer food?
Yes, it's a sign of showing respect when you don't put on shoes when giving food to monks on Bindabat. Because in ancient India, it's considered to be rude to put on your shoes and give food to the monks.
The second question, in some temple, food is brought there to be offered to the monks. Can unfinished, unperishable food like cheese, butter, and nuts be kept and re-offered again the next day? Thank you.
As long as they're not offered to the monks that particular day, you have to separate them. Things that are already offered to the monks cannot be kept over for the next day. It has to be consumed or given away to some other people after they are left over. But if you think there's too much food, then you don't have to offer all the food at that day, during that day. you can maybe separate some of the food and keep it for the next day.
And the last question is from Aun. Hi, Ajahn. Buddha said human has nama rupa, 5 aggregates. But can Ajahn please explain whether ghost and deva got 5 aggregates or not? Thank you.
They only got 4 aggregates. They don't have the body. They have the mind. The mind has 4 mental aggregates called Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. That is all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is well worthwhile your time and have benefit for you and can help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, be mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Amin. Thank you, Amin.